Alright, so continuing with shoulder mobility, wanted to continue this for another week. Why not? Because I figure there's so much more to learn, and as I do this process more and more with you guys, sharing my ideas and kind of just sharing the stuff that I learned from Kelly Starrett, Simple Leopard book, right here. Boom! If you haven't get this book, it's freaking awesome. Take a look at some of his videos. Anyways, I kind of want to just translate a lot of the stuff that I've been learning and just continuing the idea of kind of improve your mobility and help you bench more, have you be pain-free, have you move correctly, make sure you have full range of motion, and more importantly, or for me specifically, how I can have full range of motion, because that just seems like a novel idea that just seems like you can only get when you're 2 years old. So let's talk about the shoulder and getting some concepts out of the way so that way you can kind of see how I see things, or at least see a little bit of how I see things. Is that one of the things that's really important when it comes to bench pressing is shoulder extension. Arms going behind the body, right? So when you bring the bar to your chest to bench, you got to make sure that you have good shoulder extension. If you don't have good shoulder extensions, a lot of your tissues, like your subscapularis and your lats and your chest muscles, when causing you to dump forward, the shoulders will roll forward. Now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to be able to improve this position. Now, think about this for a second. If I pull my elbows to my sides, like I'm doing a row, or maybe even lowering a bar to a bench, this is about as low as I can get. So if there's weight, obviously it's going to be a lot different because the bar will actually sit on my chest. But if you actually look at my angle here, the bar is not even sitting on my chest. I don't even have the range of motion to get back this far. See this? So do you need this range of motion? I don't know. You know, it's kind of something I've been kind of thinking about. Like I was thinking about at the gym today when I was training my client, is I put my hands above my head like this, and I can't get back here. This is as far as I can get right now. My hands are like this, so you can see from this angle. This is about as far as I can go. I can't go any further than this. I need assistance to get back any further. Let me get a band out, a thin band. So I can get back to this position here if I have a band. But I can't get out there without assistance, without some sort of positioning. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's something I've been thinking about, because you know, a lot of things I put together from what other experts say. You know, K-Star, Roop on Mobility Wad. You got Dan Green talking about flexibility, about a sumo deadlift. If you have to put yourself, if you need the weight to put yourself into good position, it's something that you can do, but it's probably not a good long-term strategy, as Mr. Green has said. So it's being able to get down, just say for a sumo deadlift, to come out wide, come down for the bar, without having to pull yourself down, because obviously that's going to be a bad long-term strategy, because it's going to be hard for you to get consistent positioning. So same thing with upper body. If you don't have the flexibility, you're going to have trouble getting consistent position. So like when I overhead press, what makes that exercise so hard for a lot of people, as a lot of us tend to have bad posture because of our lifestyles, but one of the other issues too is that if you don't have the motor pattern to go directly above head, like look at me for a second, I'll try to be at 90 degrees to the camera here as best I can, and I pretend I have a bar. I push up over my head. Look where my elbows are, right? This is about where I'm at. I did some stretching, so there's a little bit of flexibility because of mobility. I've been working on it. But really, when you press overhead, you need to be back here, right? And the reason why I'm able to get back here is because of holding a bar. Now, really what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to get there passively. You know, like there's one way to get here passively, so I bring my arms out wider, I can get to here, right? But then what ends up happening is you don't have an ideal bar path of the bar, because ideally when you do overhead press, you hold it here, kind of move your head out of the way, and then push up above your head. Now kind of where am I going with this? Well, let's put things together for a second. When you push your hands above your head to overhead press, right, you want to be able, your chest, pec minor, which we've talked about smashing before, is that we have trouble being able to get our hands above our head if our pec minor and chest and lats are tight. So it's important that we kind of attack it from a systems approach. That means smashing and rolling the pec minor, the pec major, and then the lats, and then stretching them as well. And I'm going to kind of go over in this next video kind of how to kind of address these things, because I kind of want to like you know, have an education piece along with some anatomy, and then also kind of like a, okay, this is what we need to do piece. And I think that's going to be an ideal, better way of how I'm going to segment this, or at least how I'm thinking out loud right now. So let's move on to that section.